Hello everyone, my name is Liz, but if you know me as Small, then you're a homie. So, I meant to review this on the 8th of July, but I realized that, I'm wearing the same shirt as my first video. But instead of being a smart person that I should be, I decided that I'm just gonna wait until tomorrow instead of changing my shirt. So, yeah. Anyways, short movie review. I'm doing this again because I'm not creative. Since my first video, I've seen some 4 other movies, and I am particularly interested in giving my short review on them. So, let's get into it. The 4 movies that I watched are the entire John Wick series, Not Sorry, and Charlie Countryman, or The Necessary Death of Charlie Countryman. I like the original title, but let's get into it. The John Wick series, overall, I give it a 9.5 out of 10. It's a great series. I like the story. I like how each movie takes the first movie. I like how each movie takes the other movie and makes a story out of it, but leaves enough where the second movie can take and make more out of. It's great continuation. I'm not going to review each one of them individually. Well, I will review each one of them individually. John Wick 1, the first movie. Great, 10 out of 10. Actually, no, 9 out of 10. It's a good movie. The reasoning, the execution, the acting, the scenery, I'm just gonna say it looks real pretty. But why do you gotta do dogs dirty like that? I can understand a car, but really a dog. I'm gonna try to keep spoilers to a minimum. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, so as for John Wick Chapter 2, that movie is again 9.5. That is because it's a good movie. I'll give it that. The certain parts of it I kind of zoned out of. Sorry. But I would have really liked to see. I'm not sure if this is a deleted scenes that I have yet to Google, but I would have really liked seeing the concierge and Wick's dog. Just a scene. Just seeing them two. I would have liked that. But yeah, it's a 9.5 for me for that movie. And then John Wick Chapter 3. Parabolo. Pariable. Whatever, however you're supposed to pronounce it. This movie is a 9. I'll be honest, I don't really like it. That might sound weird. I don't like the third movie, Fight Me. I don't like it in the slightest. I like it. I like the third movie. It is pretty good. There's just certain parts of it where I didn't think was necessary. But that's just on me bringing characters in, bringing a character or two in that, you perceive being very important and all that, but they're only being there for a couple scenes before being away. Her dogs are cute, I'll say that. But I find it interesting. I can't wait for John Chapter 4 because I think that's where a lot of the meat of the series is going to be, because there's literally going to be a war, and war was it good for movies. Yeah. Also, Robin, he looks good. I'm sorry. I hope we see more of him because he looks great. I like goths anyway. Overall, the series is great. I understand why there's a lot of appeal for it. This might sound shocking, but when I watched these movies, I had no idea what they were about, which is weird because when they came out, they're esteemed, they're highly good, but I had no idea what they were about. I didn't get any spoilers from these 3 movies, which is great because then I can review them. So I went in with it blind. I had an idea of what happens, but completely wrong. And I'm happy. These 3 movies are great. Can't wait for chapter 4. 9.5 out of 10. Yeah. Here's my unnecessary ramble about John Wick and Polar. So, I watched both movies now, John Wick and Polar, and I can say this. There are similarities between both movies. I can see how people would think that Polar would try to emulate what John Wick is doing. However, let's list off some of these similarities that I can remember and I can think of. Retirement. Duncan is going to go into retirement. John Wick is in retirement, but gets out. Top of their class, great, whatever, great assassins. Duncan, I don't remember, the Black Kaiser, I believe that's what they called him in the movie. John Wick. Boogeyman? Something like that. I'm sorry. And 3, they had, arguably both of them had a good reason to get revenge. Just how these 2 movies applied it is different. John Wick's reasonings was because of his car and his dog. Spoiler. Sorry. Editing me will handle that. And he's getting revenge because how dare thou take this last thing from my wife and my life away from me. Duncan, however, Duncan's reasoning to kind of go fight back his employer is 2 reasons. 1, they try to kill him, which is a reasonable reason to go haywire. But 2, they took away his friend, Kamala, Vanessa Hudgens. Someone who he's growing interest to, and how dare they bring an innocent person into this whole shenanigans. Both ways that these movies approach that, though, very different. Polar has comedic scenes, comedic characters. There's like a very stark contrast between the new assassins of Duncan. I think that contrast is nice. We get to see how new generation fights against old generation, although I do understand why people don't really necessarily like it because it's so different. I like it though. You get to see the difference between the 2. But yeah, as for John Wick, it's serious. There isn't really funny humor with it, which is fine. It carries it by itself. John Wick is serious, so that's what makes John Wick good, because it's continuously serious. Well, Polar, there's some serious moments that clash with the comedic characters and the colorful ones. Good or bad, it's up to anyone. I just personally see the differences and I'm laying them out there for people who are interested or people who want to see the difference between the 2. I still recommend both. They're both really good. So different contrasting movies, and even like the reasonings are good enough of a difference to want to watch both. John Wick is a series, and hopefully Polar will be a series too, because I would like to see a chapter 2, a part 2, a sequel. So there's my unnecessary ramble on those 2 movies. I'll probably cut it down because it might be too long editing me. The 4th movie that I watched is Charlie Countryman, or The Necessary Death of Charlie Countryman. That's the original title, and I actually like it more because it gives you some more flair with what the movie's probably going to be about. So I'll be honest, I watched this movie because Mads Mikkelsen is in it, and he looks yummy. Boyfriend, he looks great. Acting, 10 out of 10. Story is so. When you watch this movie, when you read the summary, which is in Romania, American tourist falls in love with an estranged wife of a brutal gangster. With that summary, you have an idea of what's going to happen. You have these series of events that you think is going to happen. And then you watch the movie and you realize it's not that. Not at all. And it's so good. It is a really good movie. I highly recommend it. I'd give it an 8. It's a good movie, but I'll give it an 8 because certain parts of it I would have liked to see different. I would have liked to see at least a hint on how certain characters got away with, helped, but you get to see this chemistry between Gabriella and Charlie, and it's so interesting. I love it. And then you get to see Mads Mikkelsen being a very bad man. It's a great movie. If you're looking for a romantic thriller, watch it. It is 100% nothing like what you expect, and it's so good. There are certain parts that I had to skip because I'm a coward. But great movie. 8 out of 10. Would highly recommend it if you're interested in watching this particular movie. I feel like it's a little bit underrated, but that just might be me and my barely functioning brain. Or maybe watch in 2 years or so. I'm gonna look back at this video and think, I'm so dumb. How dare I? That movie is clearly a 6.5 out of 10. Yeah. So, coming near the 13-minute mark. My next video will probably be either rating my reviews on TV shows I've recently seen, because some new ones are coming out. Some I have opinions on. I want to voice them to the world. Or it's going to be ranking certain characters from a certain series that I really love. I don't know how long it'll take me to do another movie review because I'm currently on a hunt for one specific movie. I can't find it for free, at least. So until then, I'm not going to do another movie review unless I have the instinct to watch another movie. So if you have recommendations for movies that I should watch that are available on Netflix, or if you know a website that can show it for free, please comment below. If you want to see more of my rambling face, subscribe, like, comment. I see you, Wyatt. I see you. Anyways, goodbye. Love you guys. Stay hydrated.